All opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints expressed through this podcast are solely the author's own perspective and do not necessarily represent the views or opinions of VTS, the Noir Collective, or any other entity that VTS is associated with. Any content provided by authors on this podcast, including our guests, are their own opinion and are in no way intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. VTS's podcast is not to be viewed as a news source. While we consistently discuss current events and cite sources that are both conventional and unconventional media, once again the views and perspectives addressed are the opinions of the author. While we continuously strive for accuracy and a depth of knowledge, we can and will be incorrect at times, as any transparent individual or organization will have to admit to.
See, he looked more like his mama.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not. Listen. No, that's not what I'm saying. Is that he just looked more? He favors his mother more.
Yeah, I can see that.
That you know what I mean?
They got a picture of like, oh, hold on.
Yeah, maybe he favor him, but he looks like
he's probably been through evolution. You know how most kids like change over time. They look like,
but he's more towards his mom right now.
Right now he
like size,
I mean,
no, I'm not knocking. I'm just saying like this is like dang. But listen, when I saw him yesterday, I was like, oh, like it was one of like oh, like I would. It's like if like let's say J-Lo and P. Diddy had a son, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he didn't like. No, that's fine. This is J-Lo, and then he comes out like you be like, he must like look like a family member. You know what I'm saying?
When you see the pictures next to each other, you know what I'm saying? Just look at these two pictures right here. It's like, hey, where you going?
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the VTS podcast.
What's this podcast? You say?
I got this. This podcast is the Safety and Protection Podcast, presented by Biotechnical Solutions in the Noir Collective.
That's clear. I appreciate the clarification. All right. My name is M. This is the Queen. This is D. We have a very engaging episode in store for you today, and we're looking forward to seeing you join us inside this podcast community.
If you would like more information on safety protection or overall education, check us out at btsprotect.com or on all social media at btsprotect.
Awesome. You can also check us out at TH3 Noir Collective on your social media platforms. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Get a couple of sips and people, they just, all right, well, damn.
Let it out.
Let it out.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's not meant to stay
in. At all.
Let it shine.
Let me ask a question. You got the net up?
Yeah, the internet.
The internet?
The internet.
Yeah.
How many mass shootings has there been in 2023 so far?
In 2023. Damn. Hold on. This can't. Wait a second.
What is considered a mass shooting, though?
This is a list that it tells you the number of people killed and the number of people injured. And it looks like any number goes in any one of these categories. So the first one on the list has 1 person killed, 3 people injured, but they're calling it a mass shooting. It's on the list. So others have like 5 killed, 0 injured. But there's no 0 and 0, so it's at least 1 in either of the 2 categories.
I'm sure that's a massive number then.
It's like 5 pages worth of it. That's why I'm like, I don't even know how to get to the...
So I guess I would be looking for the ones that would be the ones our media classify as a mass shooting.
Here, let me go to something else. Like, USA Today.
Yeah, we need to define what is a mass shooting.
But I understand by definition, if we talk about that whole vernacular thing, anything that's over one person is mass.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
But yes, right. But I guess what I would attribute to a mass shooting is a random person going into a mall or a public place and start shooting. You know, that's
so maybe we should specify public mass.
Yeah,
I think
you know what I mean. Like instead of being like, I might know you and I'm coming to shoot you because you owe me some money for these sales or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
So let's start there because I want to ask a more specific question of something like mall mass shootings, and then I also want to try to look up school mass shootings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to categorize it. Okay.
It kind of goes back to what you were saying, in our conversation about the trends of like, why is this stuff becoming more natural? Is it becoming more apparent because they're showing it more?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like what's happening right now that the culture is shifting to that is becoming a norm for us? As a country, not as a people or nothing, as a country.
Yeah. Well, I mean, psychosis. Like, I mean, what? I think for me, when you start looking at stuff, when we have these conversations, I feel like we don't include what is the mental makeup of the country.
Mm-hmm.
What's taking place in the country? What is going on in the country where you would have a rise of incidents where people are going into churches where it used to be at least respect, even if you don't like go to that religion, you at least respect. Like, we're not killing nobody in church, right? We know people. We see people shooting at funerals now, right? Which was rare when we was coming up. You know, you might hear every blue moon. You hear, you know what I'm saying, a story,
kind of hatred.
Yeah, but now that's like that's a, you know what I mean. So desensitization,
morals or something, or
it could be. It's what's going on in the country. What's going on in. You know, you have to juxtapose our country to another country to really, you know what I'm saying? You have to let's do a case study, right? You know what I mean? You know, let's look at what's going. I mean, do other countries have the same issue, right? You know what I mean?
The world thing.
Other countries that are similar to America in terms of, let's say, population density, in terms of wealth, in terms of incarcerations. You know what I mean? We beat everybody in incarceration.
I was finna say, but I think that comparison would be to a different country with every one of them topics.
Because we lead everybody in incarceration, especially with people that look like you. We all in that motherfucker. We might as well just call it a gang. We incarceration gang. We can our incarcerated people versus the world. I'm sure we might win. You know what I'm saying? Since we got so many in. But anyway, for real, like,
that in there.
Niggas in jail all the time. Like, niggas do. Oh damn, I forgot. Cats do. I forgot. My bad. People do biz like they do that. Like now they take it like it's like a.
That's a drop in the bucket.
That's a drop in the bucket. But that's a side. That's a side. I think we really have to, when we look at that, what's going on with the country? You know what I mean? What's taking place? What is the economy like? Because I think those are some indicators about people's mental makeup. You know what I mean? And you know, and it crosses all racial. I think, you know, even wealth gap lines. So we just saw what's the Murdoch dude. We just saw him wealthy.
Yeah.
So wealthy people tend to get away with a lot more stuff than our, you know, the poor people, because poor people can't afford to defend themselves. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? In terms of the court of law, wealthy folks, they seem to have a longer leash, right? And I'm being nice, but they have a longer leash to do shit. I don't know if y'all saw that, but that Murdoch, not Rupert Murdoch, because he stole money, but this other Murdoch, I'm not sure they're related at all.
Alex
Murdoch. You see, you talking about Daredevil? No, she could.
That's a joke.
No, it's like wait. Oh yeah, that is his name, ain't it? What's his name?
That's what
And it's just something like that. Yeah,
and name might be Rupert.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. He did all that. Like everything is your wife. She's scrunching up her face right now
Yeah,
because
so
he wild.
he's on trial for killing the mother of his son. So his wife and his son, it looks like.
Oh, it's a whole. They did a whole documentary on this cat.
Yeah, for finances. Something to do with finances. Hold on, let me see.
Just said
Billions
this
of dollars in
yesterday.
stolen
What she
funds.
just said.
Yeah.
That's what she was alluding to yesterday when she talked about that, right?
Yeah.
When we talked about it, yeah,
Yeah.
we were just talking about.
Damn, bro,
to
that's
your- But to your point of mass shootings, there's a lot. I'm not sure where you're trying to go, but there's a lot in that. I think. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, I want to get into all of it. I don't
Yeah.
really have an intent.
Yeah.
Like that's what kind of moved me at the
Mhm.
moment. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
to ask that question.
So it looks like though for if you just classify mass shootings as public locations, not quantity of people.
Mhm.
So far, 107.
Niggas getting bust at, huh?
107.
They just,
Up through last one was March 11th
they just,
in New York.
So what's even crazier, right? When mass shootings, like when this first became to be a thing, right?
Mhm.
You could not turn on the TV without it talking about it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I ain't hear shit about nothing happening on March 11th.
Mhm.
Yeah, right. That's true. But how we intake media is different now, though. Right?
Mhm.
Okay,
I know we
okay.
watch-
Mhm.
We don't even.
Watch the news.
Yeah, we don't even. Well, we try to avoid it because
Yeah.
we know what we're gonna see.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying, though.
But even the media sources, we all do keep up with current events,
Yeah,
and we
that's true.
read,
Right,
even though
right,
we don't
right.
watch the news.
Right.
So even in my readings,
Yeah,
and I charge y'all to let me know if I'm
Yeah.
wrong, but
Yeah.
I have not seen anything about that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It blows
March
my
11th in
mind.
New York,
Mm-hmm.
like New York.
Brooklyn, New York.
Oh,
Yeah.
just
And then man, and what breaks
that
my
sounds like
heart.
my bad. How many people?
This
Because
one.
that might just be a normal day in
Yeah,
New York. So-
One killed, 3 injured.
Oh, that's probably why. It's just a normal
Mhm.
New York day.
Mhm.
Typically, we won't hear the reason. Typically, we won't hear it unless it's like somebody in Brooklyn open fire on a crowd of people,
Yeah.
like just hitting all type. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
not necessarily what we would think about as he walked into the Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He
Yeah.
walked into Walmart and started spraying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's start shooting.
Mhm.
Right? 'Cause spraying is like a little colloquial, right? That's
Yeah.
what you would say.
Yeah.
That's from episode 1.
Right, exactly.
Locked and
Locked and
loaded.
loaded, right? Just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's deep though.
But you said 100.
107.
Yeah. I want to know. I feel like
107.
it's just. I'm gonna say it like this:
Huh.
the mass shootings that we've been privy to
Yeah.
know about, right?
Yeah.
They've typically been perpetrated by Caucasian males.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
For the majority of them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't then have the conversation and say, oh, there's a white male problem in this country, right? I mean, white men are feeling attacked now
Mm-hmm.
just based on the fact that they're like, oh, okay, like men seem like they feel like they're being attacked, but specifically white men because they feel like their authority is being eroded by,
Mm-hmm.
you know, whether it's Me Too, whether it's
Mhm.
woke,
Yeah.
you know, type rhetoric or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So stuff is being eroded. I wonder if anything could be, and this is not scientific, I wonder if anything could be, if we could, I want to see like where these people kind of come from
Mm-hmm.
and like what their history is, you know what I'm saying? Like of these mass shooters, specifically the major ones that we
Yeah.
talked about, you know, the church,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Without saying their names, but all the different ones that we
Yeah.
come, you know what I'm saying? Like what was their family
What's their
makeup?
story?
Because a lot of times I feel like I hear their story, they're like, oh, these 2-parent households or
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
you know.
Yes.
I feel like I know there's so many different ways we can go here. So
Yeah.
I apologize, people,
Nah.
that I feel like I might be all over the place. But, it's a lot of different, like it's so many different areas you can go here.
Yeah. So then, let's talk about school.
Okay.
School. Can we
Yeah.
focus on that then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think I am moved to ask more questions about, you know, those kids, the babies, man. You know what I'm saying? I call the high schoolers babies too. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I guess the question, well, we start with mass shooting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we connect this back to our overarching theory of kindness, love, and consideration, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you all is this then. Let's have some fun for a moment. What who is to blame
God.
for the lack of love, kindness, and consideration?
That's a heavy That's
I know.
a heavy ass question.
Nobody wins when you blame.
Yeah, right.
We're all collectively.
Right. There you go.
Oh, okay, all right,
I like you
all right.
the Good job.
Okay, all right. Touche,
What a
right.
What a clap hat on the thing. What a clap on there.
Touche, right? Okay. I'll receive that 100%. I should not have used that vernacular. Okay,
Yeah, man.
so let me change it up then, and let me say, does accountability start at the individual? Does it lie within? Does accountability lie within that individual? Does it lie within the incident that made them snap? Or does it lie within the community that fostered what they came to be? People.
Yes.
Let me ask it again.
One in three is probably what I would say.
One in the three. It's one of those.
1 and 3.
Oh, one and 3.
Well, 1 being the individual,
Yeah, okay.
3 being
The community.
community.
That fostered it.
Yeah, 2 the situation itself.
That happened. Yeah. Let me clarify that though. Then you know how they say you have the moment that causes the snap that gives your commitment to do said action. So I'm saying whatever that traumatic event is, and I'm sectionalizing that to isolate it.
I would still say 1 and 3 because I kind of feel like 2 is a subset of 3. The event to me is kind of directly related to the community in which it happened in, and I would say the responsibility kind of relies on the community in that particular case for the event and what you've cultivated within your community to allow to persist, I guess, and continue on. But you got to start as an individual. Like you can't start anywhere else but with self. That's the only thing in this world that you can truly and ultimately control. So anything outside of that, in my opinion, if you don't include that, you're already placing blame. We're not having a conversation. It's not both. It's not 2 sides playing into one. If I don't include myself. So that's why I say 1 and 3, because I am a part of the community, and the community, I guess, is kind of a part of me. Those are the 2 entities that surround the issue for me. Does that make sense?
No, it makes it. Yeah, I'm in there. I dig that. That's a gem.
I don't got nothing to add. I'm gonna chill on this.
No, bro, you can't escape that. Trying to get out of here. So I do receive that, and the person. Let's talk about them.
Yeah.
there's sometimes where you hear, or there is a subset of community or a subset of our society, the people who are always feeling for their heart bleeds for, and they kind of empower the victims. I guess we can, without trying to sound negative, I'm not trying to say that, but what do you say to the person who has the mindset or argues for the person that said, well, he just couldn't help it. He had no choice.
I can't get behind that argument. I can't. I understand it. And I can empathize with the perspective, but I ultimately feel like the perspective is limited because I all feel like we have choice, regardless of the circumstances. So to say you can't help it, it's arguable. I'm like, it just that don't fit right with me. Yes.
It's always a choice.
Yes. Yeah. There's too much information out there that can give you the education and awareness to at least ask a question. To be able to inform that choice. That awareness that you even have a choice. I mean, it kind of starts there. Some people don't even know they have the choice. They're like, that's it.
So, what about the person who is not aware that choice even exists then? I guess because that's an emotional maturity level thing there then, right? Are they wrong for saying they didn't have a choice?
No, that's the other side of it. No, I wouldn't say that they're wrong. While I don't agree necessarily with the end result, I wouldn't say that they were wrong for saying it. I 100% receive that perspective of what they're saying because that's their belief. That's what they feel like they are a product of.
Talk about capability.
Yeah.
I resonate with that. What you think, brother Dion over here? D trying to evade over here.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
You ain't no politician.
I like her response.
You ain't no politician yet.
I like her response. I know, right? I'm not right. Yeah, you definitely have to take accountability.
Yeah.
I didn't even say that right. I feel like, but you have to take account for your actions and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, you got to take accountability for your actions. Though we understand that, I think we'll be silly to dismiss maybe the culture or the system, the society that helped produce or yield that. You know what I mean? Was it a lack of community? Like, did this person not have, you know what I'm saying? Did they not have their parents in their life, right? And then if they did have their parents, what were their parents like, right? And then what was for us, we understand that for us, we know community is not just our mom and dad. You know, we know community is people who we love on, who celebrate us, we celebrate each other, you know. And so since we operate like that, you know, like what was that community looking like? You know what I'm saying? Did the community not see what was going on? So that causing the question, what do we call community? You know, I don't even know if our society even, well, I do know, but we don't preach community in that way. Right? We tell them, oh, that's nosy ass neighbor right there. Like, goddamn, shawty nosy. Nosy's hell, old man, nosy hell. But, you know, we grew up, you know what I'm saying? I know I grew up, shit, they knew all of us. They knew our parents. If you act crazy, they gonna let your parents know. They even have permission to pull you to the side, like, you know, what's going on? You know,
tighten you up a
little bit. For sure, especially the OG, you know, OGs is like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You don't be doing that. You know, I definitely had a couple OGs, like elders in the community outside of my pops and my uncles and my big bros and shit. They be like, hey, that shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Talking crazy to a female.
Yeah.
You know, we ain't doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Talking, you know, doing some wild stuff. You know? So, but we don't really, we try to shy away from that now. Because I feel like we let certain people, I don't know, dictate how we, you know, raise people and raise the community. So I always look at, I'm always curious about the history of people that do it, right? Like, damn, what was going on? But accountability at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm with that. Two things came out of what you said. One, when you talk about accountability, if you try to blame or what if, now mind you, and for the people at home, I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying lay on one side or the other.
It's just
I'm asking questions,
Yeah.
right? We're trying to push it forward. But because we know somebody gonna come up there like, oh, he is, and then the ellipsis, right?
Yeah.
Then we're gonna have to, get no Billy Club. No. Y'all know we all do opinions around here. But accountability of the community. From what we see, when you try to say that, whoever that goes to, they hold up that mirror. Oh, well, it ain't me. Yeah, no, that was up to them. That ain't my job. You know what I'm saying? So you talk about that. That's where I think the lack of community is.
Yeah.
But that shit's crazy, man.
They don't buy, or we. I don't even say they. I would say people as a whole don't buy into what Dee was talking about as far as that concept of community. The reason they can even know a mirror exists within community is because of how they define it. If they defined it the way we define it, there is no mirror. We in this thing, like it's together. There is no. It doesn't even exist within how we see community. But the fact that they can, we not talking about the same thing. We're not.
Okay. And okay, so that goes on to where, when, or why did those values deteriorate? And how did it happen so damn fast? Because I saw sense of community as we 10 years old, we 13 years old, and we seeing community.
Yeah.
But hell, what's funny is that you see pockets of community now. Where we live now, where we reside now, there is a community.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. But where, when, why did that start deteriorating? On top of that, which goes back to your thing, you said that usually they would look at this mass shooter or this person and they would say, hey, it's it came from a two-parent home. Came from a two-parent home, but you and I both know that don't really mean shit. You could be in the worst environment ever in the two-parent home, and then if you were to ask or give that person that platform, they'd be like, well, yeah, both of my parents beat my ass every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or both of my parents never even said they loved me before. You know, so that part, like that kind of gets to me a little bit because it's half of the assumption. Like, oh yeah, well, they came from a two-parent, or you hear, oh yeah, the dad was in the house. But then we all know that them households where the man said, oh, well, go ask your mama. Or, the man is, I'm not dealing with you, or I don't know how to be a dad. Go ask your mama, get away from me. And that don't mean that. What kind of parenting is that? That don't give you no credibility to being a good household just because you got both parents in it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what's crazy to me when the news or anybody they came from a two-parent household. Oh, and the daddy in the house, he grew up with his dad. It's so fucking what? Man, what does that mean?
His daddy probably shit too.
Exactly. Amen.
That's real. That's real talk. Like, we don't even examine that really. Like, two-parent household. Oh, my bad.
Man, he dropped it. Never mind.
Oh, cut that off. He dropped them.
Nah, don't play it. Don't play it. It's a phone, y'all. It's a phone.
This is why we tell y'all to wear holsters.
Accessories are important.
Accessories are important. And where you can purchase these. BTS.
Man, you talk about a commercial. But, and I'm sorry, get off track, but man, like that shit burned. It really resonates with me when that's like the first thing that they say to try to justify. Why is that your justification? Like, oh, they came from a two-parent house, as if if they came from a one-parent home, that they're automatically not going to be a good person.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they use that. Well, they use that. So for the Caucasian family, as we'll call you guys, the Caucasian family, they'll use, well, he came from a 2-parent household, as if like, oh, well, something went wrong somewhere. But they'll use that same means to demify, if that's a word, to bring down. They'll use the, oh, well, they only had the mom in the household. And so this is why Pookie, little Ray Ray is the issue. This is why Ray Ray terrorizing the community. You see what I'm saying? This is, they'll go here, but they'll go, so the for the black folks is, oh, they came from 1-parent household. Of course he's going to be a terrorist, right? But for the white family or any other of these communities that where people come from, it's like, oh, well, they came from a 2-parent household. So how could it have gone wrong? Like where did it go wrong? Who failed him?
Yeah.
The system, like system failed him, right? But for us, it's the parents ourselves failed, right? You know what I'm saying? Mom failed. You know what I mean? Or even when our kids get killed, right? Even when you see, not that, like, yeah, it's the parents' fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when Trayvon, rest in paradise, was murdered, right? Just some of the, well, where was, he was with his dad and his stepmom. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, so we go like, yeah, so where are we, like, so they try to find an angle where they can be like, well, this is the reason for which why we can, where your child should be able to be murdered. And it should be understand that your kids can be murdered because your kids are already seen as less than human anyway. You know what I'm saying? So we less than human, so we seen as less than human because we seen as dysfunctional already, right? Who so they only examine who created the dysfunction or why even dysfunction even exists, right? Because it's all, you know, the blame is here, right? Which we do got to take accountability, right? We understand that, but we also understand that there's some, right? Three forces that contribute to how black families are in this current state to this day, right?
Yeah.
So when we talk about these mass killings, right, and we tend to deal with the they've just been predominantly white in this country, just to be fair, right? I think the media, I personally think the media, especially if they come from these wealthier areas or come, like, well, something went wrong somewhere. Like the excuse is usually not on the individual, right? So it's not on one. Typically, they go straight to, they go straight to 2 or 3, right? To give them the buffer to be like, well,
it's excusable. It's okay.
Exactly.
Yes, it's acceptable because of this. Right.
But if cats in the hood and they shooting in the hood for whatever reason, and there's a myriad of reasons why cats shoot in the hood. I mean, we all know, and we're not going to discuss them on here.
Of course.
But there's a myriad of reasons. You know, many of them are silly in my opinion, but we know a lot of reasons what go on in certain areas. But those typically, we always just go straight to one.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying, individual. You know what I mean? So I think there's a different way in which we even look at, you know, we would, like, sis was just looking up, you know what I'm saying, these mass shootings. Typically, like, when you, if you, I'm gonna be honest, when you say, oh, it's about one, there's one in New York, I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? If we was playing who did this crime game, right? You'd probably be like, oh, it's a you know, one of the, you know what I'm saying? But if it's like somebody walking to Walmart, we probably be like, oh, we know. It probably was, you know, we'd be shocked if it was a black. You're like, what?
Why do you think that is, man? Why is that? Why is that just assumed? Is it because, okay, well, let me ask, is it because of, you were just saying this, the media is always portraying it like this? Or is it a thing of, like, is it just happenstance that all of them really are? Like, why is this?
I mean, I kind of feel like it somewhat plays into what we were talking about before and the motivation for the kill. Like, for whatever reason, it seems like culturally ours are more personal. Like, it's individual. Like, you did something to me, I don't like you, I'm going to kill you because you personally offended
he
me,
personally
you know.
Hmm.
But for the mass shooting, the mindset is more. It's not just an individual person. There is some group, class. There's some category.
System,
Something that has offended me. So it's an entity now instead of an individual that I need to harm or get revenge on or hurt in some way because I am wrong.
Right. That's real. That's
It's whatever is motivated. Now, why we so personal? I don't know.
You cooking for real.
I'm sitting here, man. It's a couple things that came out of that.
Yeah.
Weapons deactivated.